Hey guys, I'm going to go through this pretty fast. Over here to the left, this is the textbook. Over here to the right, these are my notes. Okay, you can go ahead and pause this and read through the, PDF files if you'd like to. I'm just going to kind of scroll down and go through it super fast. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to go over is increments. So all it simply says is that from one point to another, as a particle moves along, from one point to another, the change in x is x2 minus x1, and the change in y, this little triangle symbol, means delta over here in my notes, if you can see this. And what all this means is it just means the slope. And I kind of drew this little picture here so you can see that the height of y all the way up to the top point, subtract the distance from the bottom point, minus those two, gives you just the distance from here to here. You can see my little mouse highlighted here. And then, similarly the same thing from x2 minus, x1 gives you just the distance that's from between here and here. So it gives you this, this slope triangle. Anyway, I want to go through this kind of fast. So remember, review slope of a line. Here's an example. You can go ahead and try that on your own. Some more slope stuff. Gives you the m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you guys already know this, really basic, just some linear function review. Again, parallel and perpendicular lines. You already know that parallel lines have equal slope and perpendicular lines are opposite reciprocal. Now, it says that if line 1 and line 2 are perpendicular, and their slopes are m1 and m2, so that means L1 is m1 is the slope. So then that means that L2 slope is equal to 1 over this and the opposite. But because L2's slope was m2, then that means that 1 over m1 negative, right, is equal to m2. So I kind of did the work here and kind of wrote a little explanation if you guys can read through that. It's just kind of a waste of time, whatever. They just kind of define both of them and write them together. It's whatever. Equation of a line. You already know, here's some review. So there's point slope equation, y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. In the book, they simply just move over this negative y1 and kind of tack it in on the end. It's no big deal. It's just follow the algebra. It's not trying to trick you. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. You already know that. General linear equation, you just kind of move all this mumbo-jumbo around. The coefficient of x is going to be a, coefficient of y would be b, and it equals the constant. So whatever stuff you have left will equal, and that's what c will represent. And the book kind of scrolls through that too, so I'm going to scroll down here so you can go ahead and read this and pause it if you need to. We're at 3 minutes. I gotta stop this video in 10 minutes. Y-x-intercept mumbo jumbo. Pause it. Read it. Here's an example. I'm gonna go over example 5. Okay, here we go. Now, it says to go ahead and find the slope and the y-intercept of 8x plus 5y equals 20. So it's given to you in general equation form. Kind of move this stuff around. You can follow my work here. I just moved over the 8x to get y by itself because y equals mx plus b. That's the one we want to get it into. Our goal is to put it into slope-intercept form. So divide both sides by 5, distribute that 1/5 evenly to both terms. So you get negative 8 over 5x plus 4. The slope is the negative 8 over 5 and the y-intercept is 4. And if you graph it, it looks something like that. Okay, the next thing that I go over are the exercises. So all of this is kind of review. You can finish reading those examples if you want. The first set of problems is 1 through 4. I did number 1 for you. It just wants you to find the increments. And make sure you write out the change in y is 3 units, delta y equals 3. Because if you write out the words, it's going to help you learn that vocabulary a little bit better. And you want to make sure that you're really good with that when you're taking that AP test, okay? So that way you can really explain yourself and get those pity points, alright? So again, it's just like finding the slope. So you take your y coordinates, subtract them, you get 3. Take your x coordinates, subtract them, you get 2. Make sure though you take, if you're going to stick with A first, make sure the 1 is the first one here and the 2 is the first one here. Okay, whichever direction you do it, you have to do the same ones. Okay, so if you wanted to start with B first and then subtract them, you surprisingly get the same thing, but you guys know that already since you're going to calculus, right? Okay, the next set of problems is 5 through 8. First thing you have to do is plot A and B, and then find the slope, and then kind of draw it out. So, let's see, I did number 5. So here are the coordinates. I calculated the slope over here off to the right. I got 3. Plot the points, and you just kind of, it's whatever. Okay, it's really easy. Then I think we skipped 9 through 12, so 13 through 16. Here we go. Here's problem 13. So it says write the point slope equation for the line through the point P with slope M. So you have a point and you have a slope. Oh, that calls for point slope form. And I use the same notation that the book uses. Okay, I'm at 6 minutes. I gotta hurry up and wrap this up. Plug all that mumbo jumbo in. Work it out, simplify it, and you get your answer. Really simple. Just follow my work. Okay. 17 through 20. Write the slope-intercept form. Oh, and they give it both to you. All you have to do is just substitute it in. M is 3, B is negative 2, boom, 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 and you get y equals 3x minus 2. Very simple. Finish up through 20. Oh, excuse me. And then I had you do 21 through 24. Excuse me, I just had a soda. Kind of burpy. Okay, 21 through 24. 21 says write a general linear equation for the line through 2 points. There are the 2 points. Find the slope, and then use one of the points. Okay, so I just kind of listed out the thing that you have to do. Find the slope, use the point slope form, transform it to general, okay, because it wants the general linear equation over here up to the left. See, I highlighted it just now. That's what it wants. So you need to put in ax plus b, y equals c. So find the slope, plug it in, all the mumbo jumbo, and then you just kind of rework it. So in this case, you need to put 3 over 2 as a. Y would be negative 1, because remember there's this 1 here in front. And c would end up being 0, actually. Okay, and then of course the slope-intercept form looks like y equals 3 over 2x, because it does go through the origin, so that's the y-intercept is at 0. Okay, let's go down to the next. This is the last thing. Oh, no, we got 2 more sets. Okay, 27 through 30. Okay, find the slope, the y-intercept, and graph the line. So let's see. For 3x plus 4, y equals 12. First thing that you want to do is just kind of rework it into slope-intercept form, and then you just graph it. So you get your slope is negative 3 over 4, and your intercept is 3, so it should be pretty straightforward. This is your starting value, so you plot a point at 3, go down 3 into the right 4. Okay? Just make sure, if it's negative, you forget the direction or whatever. If it's negative, it's going downhill. If it's positive, it's going uphill. But this one's negative, so it's going downhill. And last set, 31 through 34. Okay. Write a parallel and a perpendicular line to L through point P. So, start with point P is 0, 0. Start with L here. So the slope of L is negative 1. So for the parallel, it has to have the same slope. So I'm going to use point slope form because I have a point and the slope. Plug in the same slope, point, whatever, you work it out, and you simplify to y equals negative x. Perpendicular has to be opposite reciprocal. So for line L, the slope is negative 1, so we want to flip it, which would still be negative 1, and then take the opposite. So we get positive 1. Plug in the point into point slope form, and you get y equals x. Okay, good luck with all the work, and I'll post this video. Bye.